what's up? If you are new to my channel, I'm Chardonnay, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all what it was like attending Chicago Frocktails, as well as the outfit I end up making. Now, for those who are subscribed to my channel, I did not make it like a big deal or anything, or share like an announcement, or even just like do sew with me leading up to Frocktails, because it was kind of up in the air if I was actually going to attend this year's Frocktails. Um, Last year I found out about Frocktails. I found out that it was like a thing. And then I also found out like it was done in other cities. So I had in the back of my mind, like, oh, I really wanted to check out Chicago Frocktails because, for those who may not know, I reside in the Bay Area, but I was born and raised in Chicago. So my family is primarily in Chicago. So I go back and forth between the Bay and Chicago quite frequently to just visit family. And so leading up to this year's Frocktails, it actually happened to fall during the same weekend as Juneteenth weekend. And there were a lot of folks in town for Juneteenth weekend because there were a lot of like events and activities surrounding that, especially like Black Yacht Weekend. Like it's a whole thing. And so someone had actually hit me up and was like, hey, if you're going to be in town, do you mind filming the Black Yacht Weekend for us or whatever? But they were still up in the air, unsure if they needed me to film. So my schedule and what I was planning to do was kind of up in the air. I was also going back and forth between like, okay, if I work that morning portion of the day, will I really feel like going to excuse me, will I really feel like attending the Frocktails event in the evening? Would that be too much between like traveling, getting all my film equipment ready and then going to Frocktails and making sure that I was prepped for that? But nonetheless, I knew I wanted to go. So I was like, okay, if I go, I love this year's theme. Let me just make a little something, something just in case I do go. So I ended up going. I ended up not filming, which was cool. And I made something just in case. And so I also ended up taking my mom with me because how I even got into sewing was through my mom. I learned to sew from my mom, but that's her story to tell. And I knew last year when I attended the previous Frocktails, and I was super excited telling my mom, like, yeah, did you know that they have like all these events around sewing? Like there's Frocktails, there's retreats, there's this, that's that. And she's like, girl, okay, whatever. But when I finally had found out like that I was going to go to this year's Frocktails, I was like, all right, you're coming with me. Make sure you have an outfit. And at first she was kind of like up in the air about it, but I could tell she started to get excited the closer it got to the actual event, because she not only had one outfit, but she had two outfits that she was trying to decide between which one she was going to wear. Either it's one that she actually made and wore during that time period, or just like completely making something new. And she was even so excited where she was like, yeah, this is how they used to style their hair in the 80s. So she went all out, which I was excited about because I too love a good theme. Like, I don't care what theme it is. Like, if somebody hosts like a theme party, listen, I am here for it. So I'm going to stop yapping and get into what I actually made. But first I want to share with you all the inspiration behind my outfit. So I was going more for, um, you know, a workout, um, a black fitness Barbie, 80s black fitness Barbie, because the theme for this year's Frocktails was 80s inspired, and there was also a lot of like house music. So this is the inspo image. As you can see, she kind of has like a hot pink bodysuit, blue tights, as well as leg warmers. And I'm also personally in my fitness era, so I was like, yes, I'm going to try to make something centered around this type of vibe. So that is the inspiration. And so for those who have subscribed, you all have seen this pattern here on my channel. I think I shared it in a live video, but this is the pattern I ended up using. This is Butterick pattern 6541. And this is hands down a 80s pattern for sure. Like, look at even this print in that bodysuit. Look at the high cut bottoms as well as the crop tops. Now, when I seen this, I was like, okay, this can be very simple, straightforward. And I was like, okay, if I do end up filming um the Black Yacht Weekend, I'm going to be on a boat. So I'm like, maybe I can make an outfit that serve for dual purpose, something I could wear both on the boat, but then also put some leggings or tights on underneath and also go to Frocktails afterwards. So I not only made one outfit, I made two outfits just in case. So the first thing that I made was like a two-piece set, which was this top and then these high-waisted bottoms. But I'm actually kind of glad that I did not attend that because this cut on this is kind of high. Okay, I don't even know if I would have been comfortable being outside like that. But it turned out cute, and maybe that's something I can just like, wear around the house or for some other occasion. So that was the first one that I made. Then the actual bodysuits that I ended up making, you all know I love talking about the creative process and what went into it. So I made a bodysuit. This is how it turned out. And as you can see on the top part of the bodysuit, I also have this like ruching detail on it. Now, that was not intentional. That actually came about because I made a little, I ran into a little hiccup, okay? The way I cut out this bodysuit, on one side of it, there was nothing wrong with the fabric. However, on the back side of the way I laid this pattern out on the fabric, it kind of fell a little bit short where I had cut out the previous outfit from the fabric, and it kind of left a little hole when I got ready to stitch the straps up. So I was like, dang, like I don't want it to be a hole in my bodysuit. And something that I'm learning within my sewing process is to not get frustrated when I, run into something where there's like a hole or I mess up or something. I'm like, how can I think of a creative way to zhuzh this up or still make it look good. So initially, I was thinking about just making the straps shorter, but I thought that I had already cut it out in the smallest size. So if I would have just um, made the straps shorter so that way you wouldn't see the hole because it was literally like at the top of one arm of the bodysuit. You can barely see it, but you know how it is when you sew and you make something, you can see the imperfections that nobody else can see. So instead of me doing that, I didn't want to, mess with the sizing of the bodysuit. So instead, I just decided to come up with this ruching detail and put it on the one side where the hole was at and cover it up and create this cute little ruffle detail. And then to just balance it out, I put it on both sides and it ended up turning out just fine. So because I didn't want to, get too intricate and too detailed with how I made an outfit for this event, I just kept it simple, made a bodysuit, and then all the rest of my accessories I got from either Amazon or the beauty supply store. The blue tights I got from Amazon, the fanny pack, the visor, that was also from Amazon, as well as the leg warmers and the bamboo earrings that I had on, that was from the beauty supply store. So it all came together. I also include photos on the screen. And that's how my outfit ended up turning out. And I thought it was very fitting for the theme. I really enjoyed my outfit. Um, what else? Oh, the event overall. Overall, the event was really nice. I got a chance to meet some new people as well as I got a chance to meet another YouTuber creator here online. If you're looking for other like sewing creators to check out, I met Shatoka in person. I follow her channel and I love the stuff that she's always doing over there. And I met her in person. And when she met me, she was like, oh my goodness, you are so small. You are so tiny. I'm like, yep. I tell people all the time that when people meet me in person, they see how small I actually am in real life. So it was so funny she said that, but she was super sweet when I met her. Um I actually would not have even known that there was a photo booth on the second floor, like the event space that they had. It was 2 levels. And she was like, Charnay, make sure you go downstairs and check out the photo booth. So I went downstairs to check that out. Um, she also was encouraging me to go down the Soul Train line because listen, y'all, your girl your girl can be shy sometimes. I know I may seem very extroverted, but sometimes I can be shy, especially when it comes to dancing. I'm a choreographed dancer, okay? You give me an 8 count, I can do it. Now, a freestyle, listen, that's a whole nother thing, okay? But I ended up going down the Soul Train line, doing a little two-step, and then laughing at myself because, girl, I don't be knowing what I'm doing. But anyways, there was like a Soul Train line. Um, there was also like I think heat transfers or I think that's what that's called. There was like these decals where you can kind of heat press them onto t-shirts. Those were spread out throughout the event space so you can just kind of take them as a keepsake. I think that was the biggest difference. Not like it's a comparison or competition or anything, but the biggest difference that I've noticed between the Bay Area Frocktails that I attended and this one was I think no matter like if you won like a raffle or not, you still left with some sort of keepsake from this event, whether it was a photo. They also gave you like a gift bag to go home with. There was food, there was drinks. Again, I mentioned the Soul Train line, there was dancing. There were even spread out throughout the event space. There were places where you can also, shop a few patterns. And by shop, I mean they were free. Like you can just kind of browse through the patterns that they had in boxes and take them home with you. There were also like fabric magazines or sewing magazines spread out throughout the tables within the event space, and you can keep that as well. There was a raffle where a bunch of things were being raffled off. I think a sewing machine was raffled off. Fabric was raffled off. It was just a good time. I felt super, welcomed at the event. There was also someone else I met. Her name is Aisha, I believe. She goes by Bold Ass Mom here on YouTube. I met her. She just came up and just started chatting with both me and my mom, which I love that. She was just talking about her experience as a mom, as a woman, and all of that. And I really appreciate that because, again, like I said, I was trying to get my mom to come out with me to this event. And at first, she was just like, I don't really know. She's not like somebody who's like really into the whole online thing and content creation and all of that. So this was a whole new world for her. But it was just nice to be amongst a bunch of other like sewists, crafters, creators because it was just like, come as you are. So that was really cool. I didn't, you know, I had a good time. I had a good time. And I'm glad with how my outfit turned out. The food was good. There were cocktails. And yeah, overall, it was a good time. And for those who, I think this event was also catered towards people that were coming out of town as well, because it was not just like a 1 day event, it was a 2 day event type of thing. Like the first day was Cocktails, and then the second day was they made transportation arrangements so that way folks who wanted to go fabric shopping, you can go to one of the fabric stores. I forget the name of the fabric store that they went to, but one of my supporters of my channel, you all mentioned it in one of my other fabric tour videos that I did the last time I was in Chicago. And so whatever that store was, that's the store that they went to. I ended up not going. I think they started providing transportation to the store like as early as 8 o'clock in the morning. And I don't need no more fabric. I don't need no more patterns. So I did not go. And a few of my homegirls hit me up and was like, hey, let's go downtown. Let's go, to a rooftop vibe type of situation. And a rooftop in Chicago during the summertime is always a vibe. So I ended up doing that. But yes, and that's what my Chicago Frocktails experience was. I really had a good time meeting some other creative people, checking out all the fun outfits, um, bringing my mom along with me. It was just a good time. It was a good experience. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what other activities in this craft and in this community I can check out and possibly bring my mom along with me. So yeah, it was really good. And you all know, the folks who follow my channel, I primarily share content around sewing, behind the scenes of my filming projects, content creation, and what it's like being an independent freelancer and videographer and video editor. So my channel is kind of like up in the air between like sewing, content creation, and just like being creative in general. So it was really nice to connect with this sewing community. And I really encourage you that no matter whatever your thing is, find your people. I think I've always kind of been that way in work and in just whatever I'm into. Like when I get into something, I really get into it and I seek out other people and other things that is surrounding the things that I'm into. And it's just really helpful to find your people because you get more into your craft when you find your people that are into the same thing that you're into, and even seek out people who aren't in the same thing that you're into, because you never know what you'll learn, what you'll come across. And so yeah, I'm happy that I got a chance to attend this year's Frogtails, got a chance to go to a themed event. I love a good theme, honey. So yes, it was a good time and good vibes. So that's all I have to share with you all. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye.